guys, so today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video. I absolutely love filming these. They're one of my favourite videos to film. Just super chatty. You don't really know where the video is going to go because obviously people are asking questions and I haven't planned what questions I'm going to answer. I just really enjoy them and you guys have asked some great questions this time. I asked on Instagram for questions a few days ago and Instagram lost my questions, or I lost them. I didn't screenshot them in time and the story disappeared and I couldn't get them back. So I had to ask for some more questions yesterday, but I've actually got so many better questions now. A lot of them were very samey, like when I asked for them a couple of days ago, but now they're just great. So I'm glad that happened because now I've got some really good questions to answer. So I've got all my questions on my phone here off of Instagram, so I'm just gonna scroll and have a little look. Also, I have to say, recently whenever I've been asking for questions on Instagram, they keep getting spammed. So I've got like, do you like real estate reviews? DM me the answer. Like, you have one on iPhone 11. I don't understand how they find people doing these question things and then spam them. I just don't get it. But anyway, there's quite a lot of spammy things in here. So the first question I'm going to answer is, what's the best book you've read? I've actually just gone on my Kindle so they can answer this well. So ones that I have read recently that I've been really enjoying are, let me have a little look. So The Cactus was the one I've read recently. That was really good. I'm also reading In 5 Years at the moment, which currently I'm 50% of the way through. Is amazing. Really like keeps you hooked. So I'd recommend that one. The Flat Share's also good. The Accidental Life Swap was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was good. Flat Share was really good. Then This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. I think a lot of people have read that one. Really liked that. The Missing Letters of Mrs. Bright was really good book. Would definitely recommend that. And then I really like books by Jo Watson. So she's done The Great Escape, then After the Rain. There was also a few other ones she's done. Love You, Love You Not. A couple of those I've really enjoyed. And then Lindsay Kelk's series of I Heart books. I used to love those. When I was a bit younger, they really got me into reading. They're not necessarily like a young book. It's just they came out a long time ago. So I really have enjoyed those. But yeah, I'm just having a little look. I read a lot of like, just like girly kind of romance books and I love all of them. But yeah, those ones are some good recommendations that I've read recently. So the next question I absolutely loved, it was, if you were on dinner date, what would your 3 courses be? That was such a good question. So I would probably have, for starter, what would I have? I don't know whether it would be on dinner date, because on there I feel like you want to do things that look good. I don't know, I'd either do like something like bruschetta, or my favourite starter would be camembert, or some kind of like cheese selection, like cheese fondue. Do they do that on dinner date? Is that a bit too like saucy for dinner date? But yeah, I'd probably do like a cheese fondue, cheese like camembert, bread, meats, etc. Like a little board. For main, I would probably do steak and chips, or steak and like dauphinoise potatoes. I feel like that is a good meal. So probably do something like that. That's one of my favourites. And then for dessert, I'm basically just saying what my favourite meal would be. For dessert, I do like a chocolate fondant cake, something where it's like gooey in the middle, and like, oh, I just love that. So yeah, that's probably what I would do. Maybe I would change the main slightly and do something different, maybe make like a beef Wellington, something like that. I don't know, but that's probably along the lines of what I do. So a couple of people have asked what have been my essentials during lockdown. First one, the good old Kindle. I have used this so much during lockdown. Another thing I have been loving is my iPad. I've got it over there balancing, so I'm not going to grab it. But it's my iPad. I've been loving drawing on it on Procreate. I've really been enjoying learning how to use Procreate. I've got like an iPad with an Apple Pencil, and it's something that I really wanted to learn. And during this time in lockdown, it's really given me the chance to be able to learn and like learn how to do lettering on there and drawing. I've been following a lot of Alice's videos, Alice Thorpe here on YouTube. I love Alice, she's one of my friends, and yeah, her videos are great for stuff like that, stuff that I know nothing about, and they've been really informative for me, so I've been watching a lot of her videos. Also, another thing that's been my essential, food. Baking, cooking. I love baking and cooking anyway. I love making nice dinners for me and Bradley. I love making nice lunches. It's just been so nice to be able to really try and make some nice food while we're in lockdown. We're both quite good at cooking and really enjoy it. And then baking as well. I've been baking like things and then eating it throughout the week, and it's just been a really nice thing to do. My walks have also been essential. Been loving that daily walk. Someone's asked, would me and Bradley consider getting a pet? Yes, definitely. We actually really want a cat at the moment, but we currently live on the 3rd floor of like a 3-storey block of flats. so we just couldn't have a cat at the moment. It just, like, we wouldn't be able to let it outside. I'd have to like throw it out of the window. Obviously not, it's a joke. So yeah, just wouldn't be able to have one at the moment. We would need a ground floor flat or a house. So we are potentially looking at moving somewhere with a garden at some point in the near future. We're not in a rush to leave here because we've only been here like coming up to a year. We really enjoy this flat. We just would really like somewhere with a garden. So that's something we are looking into. We would really like a cat. We both love dogs. We're very much dog people, but the responsibility of a dog at the moment is just too much for our point in our life. A cat is a lot less responsibility and you don't have to be with it all day. We can both go out to work, you know, it's quite a simple process. Whereas having a dog would just be way too much responsibility for us at the moment. Someone said, what's the first thing you want to do when lockdown is over and life is back to normal? So a couple of things really. First thing would be go home and see my parents. So we haven't been home since like the end of February. So yeah, I'm definitely going home and seeing my parents and family. But then another thing would 100%, if it's this weather, like really nice and sunny, going to Regent's Park and having a picnic. Regent's Park is my favourite park in London. I absolutely love Regent's Park, especially the side that's by Baker Street Station. I just absolutely love it. Like, there's like a big like pond, not a pond, like a reservoir, and there's boats, and oh, it's just so gorgeous. And I just want to go there and sit and have a picnic and have some like little drinks from M&S in the little cans, be with Bradley and my friends. That's one of my favourite things to do and one of the first things I want to do after lockdown. A lot of people have asked what my ultimate career goal is. And someone said, are you content with where you are right now? I'm someone that always kind of like strives for the next thing. I've always really been like that. So I like my job now and I'm happy with where I am now for my point in my life. However, I want to move up and would not be happy with being in this position, you know, in the future. I don't want to stay in this position forever. So my ultimate career goal, I think I do want to stay within PR, within fashion and beauty, I'm pretty sure. Obviously kind of the highest level within that kind of sector would be a senior PR manager or head of PR. So that would be something that I would strive for, you know, at some point later on in my career. I also do want to create my own business at some point in my life. I don't know particularly at which point that will come. I don't know what it will particularly be in, but I want to work for myself. So that's something later on in life. That is kind of my ultimate career goal, is to work for myself and create my own business. What in? I have no idea at the moment. Someone's asked, do me and Bradley want children? If so, at what age? Love your videos. Thank you very much. Yes, we do want kids. I don't know at what age really. No time soon at all. Not anytime soon. But yes, we do want children at some point. But yeah, in the far future, it's definitely not anytime soon. I'm currently 24. I'll be 25 in October and Bradley will be 24 in less than a month's time. But we definitely are nowhere near the kids' point. Quite a few people have asked, how did you cope leaving uni and being thrown into a full-time job, currently struggling? For me, I feel like I'm slightly different to the normal person in this answer. Firstly, I did a placement year. I think I mentioned in my job video that I did prior to this video going up, doing a placement sets you in such good stead for going into a full-time job after uni. If you haven't done a placement, I think it would be a hell of a lot of a bigger shock, because you do placement and you work in a full-time job for a whole year. You know, you don't feel like you're back at uni. You're treated as a normal employee. Because of that, I feel like I was very ready for a full-time job after uni. In my final year at uni, I was constantly just waiting to finish, constantly waiting to go back to London, work in PR, like, and really knew that was exactly what I wanted to do. So when I actually got to it, I just wanted it so much that I didn't miss uni in the slightest. I did really enjoy my uni experience, but I was at uni for a grand total of 5 years because I changed course and then I did a placement year. So 1 year of that 5 years I was in London. The rest of the other 4 years I was actually at uni because I changed course, as I mentioned. So I think by the time I finished, I was so desperate to leave. Me and Bradley had been long distance in our relationship for the 5 years that we were at uni. We were long distance for. We got together when we were 15 at school. So I was so desperate to leave uni, move in with him, kind of like start our life together. So if I'm completely honest, I coped fine because it was everything I've ever wanted. I do understand though, a lot of people do struggle coming out of uni and going into a full-time job, especially if you haven't done a placement. Unfortunately, I'm not the best person to give advice because obviously I wasn't in that situation, but I just try and look at like the positives of what your new life has given you and the positives of not being at uni, kind of not doing those assignments and not currently, like, I felt like when I was at uni I was under so much pressure constantly. Like even now, like filming a video, I would have been like, oh no, I need to do uni work, I can't do that, and I could never chill. I felt like I'd never ever properly chilled out unless it was like in your summer, because there was constantly something to be doing, whereas working, I feel like you definitely don't have that kind of hanging over your head at the weekends and stuff like that. So that's one thing I really enjoy about not being in uni. Maybe just try and think of the positives of your current life right now, and the things that you really enjoy, and the fact that your degree and being at uni has got you where you are now, so it should be a good thing. I didn't actually realise how many questions there were about having a family, having kids, getting married. I want to get married, I want to have kids, but as I say, kids are so far in the future. Even getting married, still quite a few years off. I don't really have the money right now. Someone's put favourite cake. Love that question. Definitely a chocolate cake. The most chocolatey chocolate cake you can get is what I want. Someone said daily routine during lockdown. So our routine, since we've been furloughed, has been, we've been trying in the past few days to set an alarm. We weren't setting an alarm, which was a really bad idea. Definitely set an alarm. So we have been waking up about 8 o'clock in the morning, lounging around a bit, having breakfast, watching a bit of TV. We've been obsessed with Homes Under the Hammer. It's our new guilty pleasure. Absolutely love that programme. So I've been watching that in the morning. We've actually stopped watching Good Morning Britain and This Morning. We were just really struggling with watching the news constantly, and even this morning when they do fun things on there as well. And I love that programme normally. It's just there's a lot of coronavirus chat constantly, and as much as it's good to keep informed, I think sometimes it's just a bit too much. So we've actually stopped watching those programmes, and so we've been watching like Homes Under the Hammer in the morning. It's been a great time. Then we'll always have a shower, get up, and then sometimes we will go for a walk in the morning. So this morning we went for a walk about 10:30. We had a little drive out, went for a walk. You can now drive to go for a walk. It's a new rule in the UK. The rules were announced last Thursday. If you don't believe me, please go and look into the description box and I will link the new UK government rules before anybody argues with me about it. So we will then go for a walk. So we'll either go for a walk around here or I'll go for a drive and go for a walk somewhere. So then we'll get home and have lunch. We've been trying to mix it with lunches and have stuff that we wouldn't normally have at work. So we've been having like chicken wraps that have been like grilled and stuff. We wouldn't be able to have that at work and stuff like that. So we've been having lunch, and then in the afternoon we've normally been like kind of breaking off. I've been doing kind of like YouTube stuff or reading my book, or I've been doing scrapbooking or just watching Netflix while I play on my iPad or something. Bradley's been playing on his Xbox, or he's also been throwing it way back and playing on a PS2. So yeah, we've been doing that and like splitting off in the afternoon, so we both get our own time. We have a 2-bed flat, so this is our spare bedroom that I'm in at the moment. Bradley's in the lounge, and we kind of swap kind of back and forth. Then we kind of rejoin to have dinner, and then in the evening we kind of will watch Netflix or watch a film, or yeah, just do something together. Occasionally in the afternoons, like late afternoon, we've been like doing some of our puzzle together and bits like that, but we try and spend a good amount of time in the afternoon separate, so we both get our own space. Someone said favourite cocktail. I would definitely say a mojito or an Aperol Spritz. A few people asked this in the previous lot of questions, and someone's just asked it again. So it's tips on how you and Bradley kept your relationship strong at such a young age, long distance. So as mentioned, we obviously went to uni at 18 and we kept our relationship long distance for 5 years. It's just all about kind of, it's easier as you grow up. It was definitely easier after first year. But I think as you grow up, you just become a little bit better at the communication. Also, in my opinion, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and you will get through it. I think if it's not meant to be, sometimes there's a reason why it's not working, if that makes sense. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but that's kind of how we always treated it. We would obviously text throughout the day, and then we would try to call once a day. So we used to call each other in the evening. We never really used to FaceTime. We weren't big like FaceTimers. We used to try and call each other in the evening time just to chat about our days. And then we did probably see each other every weekend, barring a few weekends where we would do like every other week or whatever. we both had cars, so we just drive back and forth. I was at uni in Manchester. If you don't know, Bradley was at uni in Derby and also lived in Nottingham throughout his uni experience. So yeah, we would just drive to each other. That's just how it was for us. I think it depends like even who you live with. Like for me, in final year, for example, I lived with 2 girls. They both had boyfriends, so at the weekends we all kind of did stuff differently. We didn't necessarily like all do stuff together. Even like in my second year of uni, Bradley would come up and like we'd do stuff like even with my house, or people would go home. I don't know, at the weekends I just felt in my uni experience people didn't really do that much, so it always kind of worked for us to see each other at the weekend. I know some people are different, and if you don't have a car and you have to pay for trains and whatever, it is a lot more difficult. But yeah, but we saw each other probably like once a week, and then sometimes every other week, so it did make life a little bit easier. Also for us, when we went home, our hometown is exactly the same place. We met at school, so for us, we went home at the weekends. We'd both see each other's parents. We'd try and go home on the same weekend, so we all kind of we were there together. So that was another way of seeing each other. I'd just say communication is absolutely key, and understanding each other's situation is key as well. So someone's asked, would you say moving in with your boyfriend has changed your relationship? Yes, definitely, but only for the better. It has been like an absolute dream, and we would both say that. We've both had conversations with people about this, and just in comparison to being long distance, we moved in together and people were like, oh, how are you getting on living together? And we were like, it is a dream. Like, it's so easy because we've gone 5 years being long distance. Living together was just so easy for us, and yeah, we've just become stronger, closer, and yeah, it's just been great for our relationship really. So that's the only thing I can say. Everything's nice and rosy since we've been living together. Someone said, how are you? That's a lovely question. A couple of people have said that actually. Yes, I'm good, thank you. I feel like I'm having the same up and down days that everyone is in lockdown. Yesterday I was definitely having a down day, and the day before. Today I feel so much better. I feel a lot more positive. Yeah, I just feel a lot happier today. I think so we went out on a really lovely walk this morning. It's beautiful weather. So yeah, it's been a really, really nice day today so far. And I'm feeling positive. So I'm just trying to take every day as it comes. I think if you think to yourself, we have still got like 3 more weeks in lockdown, you're gonna be quite stressed about it. So I've just been trying to take each day that comes. Bradley's birthday's in the middle of May, so I've been trying to think about his birthday and what we could do if we are still in lockdown, and kind of like his presents and bits like that. So I've been trying to think of those things as well, which is a nice thing to think about. Birthdays are always lovely. So yeah, I'm good at the moment, thank you. I'm sorry if the setup is slightly different. My camera battery died. Again, it dies all the time. Okay, so I thought I'd just answer a few more questions. I think this video is quite long, but I feel like I've got some really good questions, so I want to answer like quite a few of them. Maybe I'll come back for a part 2 if you guys enjoyed this. So just gonna get on and answer a few more questions. So the one that I was answering before my camera died is, do you miss anything about uni? So for me, I was there for quite a long time. As I have mentioned, I was at uni for a grand total of 5 years, and I feel as though by the time I was in final year, I was so ready to leave. And I know a lot of people miss friends from uni, but like my 3 best friends all live in London now, we've never been in the same place at the same time ever. Like, I've never had them all in one place, and it's so lovely to have them all in London now. I have one friend called Sophie who still lives up north. She was one of my best friends from uni, so I do miss her, and I miss having her around and seeing her all the time. But that's really the only thing I miss. Me, Claire and Sophie, who all lived together in final year, it was that like real togetherness in the fact that we were all doing the same assignments, and I loved that. We were all doing the same assignments, and we'd sit in the living room and we'd just be delusional, and then we'd go to the library and be delusional and just eat loads of chocolate, and I enjoyed that. But I don't miss it necessarily, because we still have super fun times together, and I just love the fact that all my friends are now in London pretty much. So to be honest, I don't really miss anything at all. I much prefer my life now, and everything that I've got. I love living with Bradley, and I love London. I loved Manchester. I loved living there, but I'd outgrown Manchester by the time I left uni, definitely. But yeah, I don't really miss anything, to be honest. Someone said, are you planning on buying a property in London? So me and Bradley are going to do a whole video about living in London, moving to London, etc. We got loads of questions. We asked for them ages ago, back at like the start of March, and we actually filmed a video recently, but we didn't get things in that we wanted to get in, so we're going to refilm it while we're in lockdown at the moment. So you will see that over the next few weeks. We're not in any kind of rush to film it. So we'll answer more about that kind of question together then. But basically the overview is we obviously would love to buy a house slash flat, and we haven't really started saving for it yet. It's not really a priority for us at this point in time. Kind of towards the end of the year we want to start properly saving for a house, but at the moment it's not been something we have fully started saving for. With buying a property in London, they're just so expensive. It's going to take us a very long time to be able to get a deposit to buy a house in London, especially because there is not that many new developments. Now I don't know loads about houses, etc. and mortgages, but a lot of the 5% mortgages are on new homes. So the new homes and the new estates that are built, there's not that many that are built in London because a lot of it's obviously already built up and, you know, near a tube station, etc. So I think when it comes to it, we'll probably be thinking about moving out of London by that time. Realistically, it's probably going to be 4 or 5 years before we are even at that point of being able to have saved enough money to buy a house. And I think by then we're going to have to be realistic and be looking outside of London, between London and also where our parents are and our families are, which is in the Midlands. So looking whether there is somewhere between those two destinations where would be a good place for us to live. I think both of us absolutely adore where we live. We love all of the surrounding areas. It is a beautiful area of London, and we would both absolutely love to live here forever, but it just comes down to money. And you know, if we can, like here, a 2-bed flat costs about 400 grand or more, and you think about what you can get for that, even just a little bit out of London, or what you can get a 2-bed flat for even a little bit out of London, is just crazy. So yes, we would love to be able to buy, you know, a property in London, but I just don't think we want to wait, you know, all that time to get like a 2-bed flat in London where we could save half the deposit and get something somewhere else, if that makes any sense. Someone said favourite travel destination and why, and I think somebody else has asked favourite holiday. I don't know whether the question is, but someone else has asked favourite holiday. So my favourite holiday that I've ever been on was probably when me and Bradley went to Paris and Rome. We went there 2018, I think. No, it was not 2018, it was 2017. 2018 we went to Florida, last year we went to New York. So it was in 2017, and we went to Rome first. We went to Rome for 5 days, and then we got a flight to Paris and we stayed there for 5 days. So we had like a 10-day like summer holiday. It was just amazing. Like we kind of just, it kind of just happened. It wasn't like a big thing that we'd like planned or anything. We basically had got tickets to go and see Coldplay in Paris. It was a real spur of the moment thing. I remember we both absolutely love Coldplay and we wanted to go and see them, and they'd released tickets and they had dates in Paris. I think maybe the UK wanted sold out, or they weren't doing a UK tour or something. And so they had dates in Paris, and we just thought, should we just book them? Like, it was probably the October before, and this was in the July. It was nearish to our anniversary, and so we just thought, oh, we'll just book them. We can just get the Eurostar over it. It'd be really nice. We can just stay for one night. And then we ended up making it into a bigger trip, so we ended up going to Paris and Rome together. And yeah, it was just the best trip. It was so good. Like, we loved New York last year, and it was amazing. But I think if I was going again, New York was so cold when we went. So cold. On some of the days. Some of the days were lovely, but some of the days were so cold. And I love like the summer and the heat, and I'd love to go back to New York in probably like September, October time. I'd absolutely love to go back at the start. Probably not my birthday. My birthday's October the 2nd. Around then I would love to go back to New York for. But yeah, favourite holiday has got to be Paris and Rome. But favourite destination, definitely New York. Someone said favourite thing about London. For me, off the top of my head, it would probably be the amount of things there is to do and see. Free things to do even. I think a lot of people think that London is very expensive to go out and do stuff, and it's definitely not. You know, like the rent and stuff is, which is what we will cover in this London video me and Bradley are going to do. However, the kind of day-to-day, like if we decided right now, if lockdown wasn't a thing, we're going to go out and spend a day in London and we're not going to spend any money apart from like getting on the tube, it's so easy, especially in the sun. So I love that. I love the fact you can just go for a wander and just see so many sights. We were talking about it earlier. I was thinking, haven't actually been to Buckingham Palace in ages, and like around that area of London, and just being like living somewhere where there's so much to see and so much to do. It's just so lovely. It's like we can just wake up on a Saturday morning and think, what do we want to do this weekend, and just hop on the tube and go wherever we want to go. But equally, where we live kind of far enough out. We live in zone 4. We live far enough out in a really nice area that kind of we can drive 10 minutes and be at Epping Forest and have a lovely walk around there, and we are very much like we can be in the height of the countryside, as well as being in London. So it's a really nice contrast. There's always like good things to do and good things to see, no matter what time of the year it is, and it's just such like a vibrant place with loads of things to do and see. Someone's asked a favourite place to shop for clothes. So one of mine would definitely be New Look. This dress is from New Look. It's a midi dress. Yeah, one of them would definitely be New Look. Another one would be Topshop. 100%. I adore Topshop. I just absolutely love everything they produce. To be honest, my favourite places to shop for clothes are Topshop and New Look. Topshop by a mile. Like, that is definitely my top place. But New Look's very close second. But yeah, I do love other places. Like, I really like Boohoo. I really like Primark. Like, I quite like Zara, but again, as I say, I don't really get on that well with River Island. Just like the fit of things. I find it quite expensive. I feel like Topshop's gone down in price, but River Island has continued to go up. But yeah, Topshop's just my ultimate fave, really. So I'm just going to answer a couple more questions. The first one, I just want to say, someone's asked for advice about doing a placement year in a fashion head office. I have done a video all about my Boohoo placement year, so I'm going to link that just up here and in the link below as well. So if you haven't seen that, go and check that out. I'm guessing you haven't seen it if you're asking questions on it. And then the other question I was going to answer for the last one is, do you believe in soulmates? I thought it was a really cute question. Yes, I think I do believe in soulmates. I believe that kind of what is meant to be will be, and kind of, you know, me and Brad have gone through a long thing of being at uni and had like a few challenges in our relationship, like earlier on when we were kind of like younger, and like dealing with like being long distance, etc., and dealing with going to separate unis and all of that business. And we've managed to stick through it all with each other, and we're out the other side. So I do feel like it is a thing. However, the one thing that I do think is, what if I had, I don't know, my parents had moved to New York when I was younger, random, but you know, to America or whatever when I was younger. I wouldn't have then met Bradley, but I might have met somebody else who I would still be equally as happy with. So I don't know, I think it's a weird one to think about, because what if you just decide to like move like tomorrow, say you're single, and you know, you just decide to move tomorrow to a different country. You're still going to meet somebody that you can spend the rest of your life with, but you might have also met somebody like in a different country. I just don't know, I think it's a weird one. But I think like with us, yes, I definitely think with everything kind of we've been through, and as I said, like with that long distance relationship, and you know, it is what will be, and we've come out the other side and we're very happy. So yeah, I think I believe in them. I'm not really too sure. Also, there was a couple of questions that were London related, but we are going to cover them in the other video we're doing, which is like a London Q&A. So I'm going to leave those off, and we will be filming that like in the next couple of days. So I'm going to leave those for the next video. So thank you very much for watching. I absolutely love filming Q&As. They're really chatty, and I just really enjoy them. So if you've enjoyed it too, please give the video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It really helps me out. Also, if you haven't subscribed before, please do. The button is just down below. I've also just realised that you've been able to see me like playing with my dress and everything in the mirror behind for the entire video. Anyway, please subscribe if you haven't before. I would really appreciate it, and I will speak to you next time. Bye!